the tongue of the crafty. Because your tongue can be crafty to yourself. You can gaslight yourself. If you've always learned how to live a life of confusion or conflict and seen a lot of derogatory, dysfunctional living, it could debase your mind. Enemies will become of your house when you come to the cross, because if you're broken free of curses that are operative in the narrative or nature of fallen man, not because you're belittling sufferings that you've seen or lived through and or have endured. So then you could see that the unhealed, unhealthy people are still talking about all the things that destroy them. You know, they're still living in that kingdom, and their native tongue is of that kingdom. Always despair, always confusion, always conflict. You know, that a sin-filled life is always going to be operative with a narrative of confusion and conflict. You're going against the grain or the will of God for your life. So it comes with disorder. It comes with confusion. It comes with gossip and talking about it, cunning behavior. You become the Leviathan and the Goliath that's operating in your own life. So then you start gaslighting yourself. You become a part of that, becomes a part of your identity. You're delusioned in your thinking, because you'll start saying, you know, I've succumbed to these fires. I is my normalcy in my life that's been handed to me. There's nothing I could do about it. You know, this is who I always tell people, that's what happened to you. That's not who you are. And this is why some people succumb to the fires that's burned around them their whole life. And it will reprobate an innocent child's mind, because they become what's poured into them. They have watched such derogatory living, and it's confined them to a curse that they don't know how to be set free from, because no one's ever showed them discipline or obedience or how to walk. You can't tell your child to walk in greatness and be victorious in life's endeavors when you're showing them everything it's not. They become what they see. So if they've lived around a bunch of cursed lifestyles and dysfunctionality, death and destruction, and it's always spoken of, and defiancy and rebellion, and, you know, let the dead bury their dead. That's what he's saying. You're actively dying in your sins. And so you leave behind the pain that you showed the people, your children, passing your seed to the fire. You leave behind the pain because of the lifestyle you lived, and you died off from your sins, and now you leave all your problems to the next generation. That's not God's will for your children. That's not God's will for your marriage. How can your children have a sound relationship, personally or professionally, when you've represented everything it's not? And I'm not saying you willfully done it, because you're under a curse yourself. That's why we say we all become someone's seducing spirit if we don't act appropriately. We all become seducing someone to shame. We're shaming not only ourselves, but the people we interact with, because we don't know how to speak life. We don't know how to intercede for ourselves. We don't know how to overcome our battles, because no one's ever gave us the strength or showed us how to do that for ourselves. We've watched nothing but rebellion. We've watched nothing but oppression, degradation, demoralized behaviors, and actively dying people. And so we actively die with them inside, because it's emotionally and mentally wounding us. That's the enemy's territory. So your parents could have been your seducing spirit to shame, because they can't give you something they don't have. If they weren't shown how to live appropriately, how can they show you how to live appropriately? Broken homes raise broken children. Broken parents raise broken children. And then your child will go out into the world lost already, under a curse, and latch on to the first thing that shows them attention, because they feel depraved at home. They have a depraved mind from their home life. So they go out in the world and continue in the same mannerisms and have the same broken and barren relationships or marriages. And they'll sit there and justify it. This is just how people live. This is normal. And it's not.